Hello friends, and welcome once again to another episode of Tinker, Tailor, Soldier Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner, and I will once again be your navigator as we traverse our way through projects unknown. Yes, this is a Let's Try program. We're not going to tell you how to do something. I mean, we'll tell you how we're going to do it, but that's not necessarily how you should do it. You should try it for yourself. Learn to do by doing, as the 4-Hers always say. Quick reminder, though, that everything we do here at Loading Ready Run is brought to you, of course, by you. You people watching this, it's a Patreon. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Keeps the lights on the moon base, and then through the processes of employment and reciprocating remuneration, trickles down and allows things to happen here at the Crystal Gondola, the main palatial Tiltio Studios here in beautiful downtown Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Yeah. Sorry, I'm swapping back and forth looking here because you are over here for me today because we are in the booth. If you want to check out my Twitter at twitter.com/ihorner, we've got a rare pre-TTSF shot of where we're broadcasting from, and currently I'm looking at a camera that's inside of a spray booth, so I'm actually looking directly at a furnace filter right now. Right next to it up here, we've got is that visible? No. Got a little iPhone, which is pointing at the ground, both of which are wrapped in saran wrap because, hey, there might be painting happening. Yeah. Let's chat for a bit about what's going to happen today because it's going to be a bit of one. So, didn't bring down the box. We've got that in the tweet for this channel, Loading Ready Run. Hold on, let's put that out into the world. Oh, I am organized today. There we go. What do I want to share with a smaller crowd? Let's say no. Cancel? Oh my, okay, good. Public, yes. Tweet, done. And then becoming retweeted by me, Ian Horner, of Loading Ready Run. And push the button. Okay, so yeah, left the box upstairs today because we don't need to bring it out. But we are working once again on the... Yeah, this is a high grade. I cannot believe this is just a high grade. It is the Nightingale Gunpla, the MSN-004 from Beltorchka's Children, the novelization/mangaization of what would become Char's Counterattack. And we've made progress on this so far. We built the model. We sanded down and cleaned up all the nub marks. We have primed a good portion of the model. There was some painting in the interim that needed to be done with some Warhammer figures. I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to that, but we've been busy, and so in the last couple days I've gone back and primed up the other parts we're working on and that we're going to be working on today. But as cool as a matte black, primer black Nightingale would be, that's not what we're going for. We are going to attempt to give this thing some color to it. And for that, we're going to need to choose some color. And so we're going to do that today. But before we do, we need to probably want to test it, right? Because we want to see what things look like. Let's just talk for a second here about the colors that we're going to be using. So let's actually flip into the booth mode so you can all see what I'm talking about here as well. Ha-chunk. Hey, there we go. Okay, so this is the manual here. And thankfully, Bandai is nice enough to give us a color guide for things that we might want to paint the colors with. So, for example, the red that they suggest for a more lifelike finish is 80% red and 20% brown. I think that sounds like a good idea. So we're going to mix some browns and some and some reds and see what we like. But yes, I think someone already suggested that it is, yes, Nigoki, time for spoons. And guess who was smart enough to prepare again for the stream by priming not one, Not 2, but 3 spoons. Yes, we are absolutely ready. Ooh, is that a chip? Yeah, that's some chipping in the priming. Cool. I have not done good things to these spoons, it seems. So we're going to prime that. We've primed them, but the painting technique that I personally like to use in the grand total of 2 Gunplas that I have painted is the Max Kobayashi technique of painting, which is really just a way of pre-shading your paints with your paints with some highlighting in them. So what we're going to do to simulate that is, before we get into mixing the paints, we're going to spray these down with the first preparation, which is going to be Gundam, well, not my Gundam white. I've got 3 white paints that I can work with here today. We've got the this, which is actually, let me grab the actual paint. I'll never not be proud of how done this is. Deco Art Crafter's Acrylic, mixed 50-50, or just a bit more with not antifreeze, windshield washer fluid. And that does a really good job at making a decent white. We have, however, also White Scar and Luthurian Gray in the Citadel Air line. And I'm honestly tempted to, for the white parts, for the shading white, just using the cheapest stuff we've got, because I'm familiar with it. I know how it goes on. I know how it likes to play with the space, and we can work with it. We can work with it. So let's grab an pipette and get the mask on. Ooh, and before we do, let's take one more sip of today's beer, which is Category 12's Salted Mexican Lager. Salted Lime Mexican Lager, that's right. Coming in at 4.5%, they describe it as crushable, and I would 100% agree. It is extremely pleasant stuff. Red Mechas Go Faster says, Artist Cyril, I 100% agree. Usually about, what is it, 3 to 3.3% better? Okay. Good, yes. Everything still works as expected in terms of the audio. You can hear me. Make sure that our... Okay, good. Seal is applied. And let's... I've pre-stirred the paint. An electric stir, so let's just take it a few drops with our pipette. It seems like a good enough amount, so we'll just stick that in the water. All right, pipette. There's me thinking I can clean the pipette in a mug of water. I don't think that's a smart idea, but hey, here we are. All right, and let's see what that gives us. Okay, good. That's making coming out the way we want it. So what we're going to do is just go down the center and give these a bit of a highlight here. Let's do that. We're going to be away from the paint, and we're just going to be right down the center, leaving those outer edges nice and black. That'll really highlight what we're up to. Oh, I can pull back. Great. And that looks like that's good. I'm going to do the interior too, just so we have a second surface to prime with, or to play with. And I'm liking that. That's maybe a bit white in the center there, but not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, that's one. And that's going to get really right on this one. I'll come back and do a second coat in a second here too. Good. And here we go. One last one. Yeah, I've seen some YouTubers do their painting without respirators. I personally want to keep my lungs in tip-top condition for most of my life so that I can continue to use them as I get older. I happen to like my lungs. They do all sorts of fun things for me. Okay, so there we go. Rotary Sorter asks, am I painting the frame as well or only the outer armor? Oh, no, Rotary Sorter. We've broken this thing down into full, just parts. So yeah, we'll be painting just about everything here, including the frame, or at least the exposed portions of the frame. Let's have another sippy. Let's come back and put a little bit more paint on that first one. Not as even as I'd like on this one. This is good practice for me, too. I think I might have went a little bit far on that one, but this will really highlight what's... There you go. If you get closer, you end up really... start to see the lines there. All right. Let's see here. A bit more for this one. Let's keep it all the way back. Oh, and we've run out of paint. Well, you know what? Because I'm curious to see how it changes between the different types of paint, we should probably get a bit more just on that one. So let's add a few more drops back to the airbrush. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems good. That one seems like it's got a... I don't know why I'm putting so much effort into these spoons, because they are absolutely just a tester. But you know what? This is how we get practice, right? All right. That one I think I've got... I wish I could have done a little bit less in there, but you know what? This is how we learn. And this one we're just going to leave as just a bit more paint. Whoa. Be careful, Ian. Okay, we're going to leave it at that, and definitely leave the inside as just barely highlighted. All right, let's clean up that brush. Get the white out of there. Got a little bit of air soft juice. Airsoft juice? What am I talking about? Airbrush cleaner. And let's get one of our terrible brushes. There we go. This is our currently the only the only old garbage brush I own. Throw that around in there. And we'll just spray that out. Let's do it a bit more to make sure we've dislodged all the paint. And that looks good. Almost missed a spot. Okay, and then just add a little bit more cleaner to that. Ooh, yeah, let's do some backwash too. And just spit it out. That'll be clean enough for government work. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So while these are drying, in their repose. Let's talk red paint. So when I started this project, I I was thinking, okay, you know what? I've done really, really cheap paints. The last Gundam was 100% with these crafters acrylics. But I thought I heard some people saying that they tended to like the Vallejo Mecha Color series. So I picked up, actually about a month or two ago, what we needed in terms of a few different colors of the mecha paints. And yeah, so we've got the brown and we got the red. And that's one option that we're going to give a try here. But there was a wrinkle that was put into my plans here as well. I did receive from a generous fan. Yeah, this here. And I'm not sure if you're in the chat right now. I'm not sure if that's if your care package is public knowledge. I'd like to thank you if it is. If not, then we'll stay anonymous. But yeah, so I figured, why the heck not? Let's maybe try some pigment-based paints and see what we can come up with. So let's add that. And is red ochre what we want for that? It comes with these paints. The Chimera colors are single pigment acrylics, so they are extremely they have extremely good coverage. They have extremely pure color, and they mix really, really well. So to get something along to a brown, we're probably just going to want to use the red oxide, TBH, because that is a good one there. And yeah, we'll mix up some single colors, or not some single colors, but a test thing for some paper, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, these paints are rad as hell, but they are also going to require me to learn some new skills in the form of really understanding my color wheel, because that's what we need to use. So yeah, red oxide and that. Let's get out a little thing here, some paint pots, and let's start shaking. Yeah, Cellphone these are exactly the mix your own shades of paints. And really curious to see how well they go. I've been doing some research on them over the course of the day and over the ensuing few days. And I'm really just curious to see what they come up with. So, let us... I want to bring out a card here as well, so that we can make our time and record our information on that. Where's a? You know, we'll just use the terrible brush for this as well. Okay. So I guess let's start with the Vallejo, and we're looking at according to the mix. Bandai recommends red at 80% and brown at 20%. So that's going to be, by my count, 4 drops to 2 drops, right? Right. No, divide by 2. So 4 drops to 1 drop of red. Let's see what that looks. Oh my goodness, that is red AF. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Not sure I like these bottles. And then we've got 1 drop of the brown in there. It's interesting with when you see these paints dry out like this, you can really see that how the pigments are mixed to form a color, that there's a lot of green in brown. All right, let's see what that looks like. Let's add just a bit of water here. Mix that up. Oh, I like that actually. That's a really nice red in IMO. How does that look when it comes out? So this is, let's put that on the paper. Let's see how that comes out. Nice. Okay, so that is, shouldn't have done the under thing. How do you spell Vallejo? Vallejo. We're looking at 80% Mecca red, 20% Mecca brown. I understand it's important to really keep a card like this or something to give you to give you a way of matching paints in future if you need to remix your stuff up. So you know what's what's in it, you know what it's supposed to look like, you know how it blends. So that's, yeah. I'm gonna. Apparently, people keep these in books. I couldn't find the book I wanted to use for this sort of stuff, so I'm just going to use this this card, and then we'll keep that with the box as we go along. So I guess next up is the Chimera. So we need to really shake these up. Okay, so apparently these they come with steel balls in them, so that's cool. Oh no, people are talking about gas theory in the chat. Yes, CO2 can in fact be a liquid at room temperature, but it has to be under pressure for that. Remember, it's all about your the balance of pressure, temperature, and volume. Well, no, the volume is controlled by is going to not get controlled by. It's going to control your pressure. Okay. This one has not released its steel ball yet. Oh, I think I hear it. I think I hear it. Okay, so let's put those together and shake. Annex Media says, normally this is where I shout out Alfunko for his purchase of a nail pot pot shaker. You know what, I have been looking at some designs on Thingiverse for putting together a paint shaker that is based off of a jigsaw. You just attach the paint holder to the jigsaw and just let it go. But, okay. Yeah, Alfunkel, I do not own one of those yet, so your Vortex shaker is sounding like more and more like a real good thing. I'm just going to hope that this has been shaken up enough. Yeah, I can hear things happening in there. Oh, here we go. Annex Media is waiting for Sherwin-Williams to go to business so they can pick up one of the gallon shakers for auto body work. That seems like a fine idea. Yeah, because my paint stirrer won't fit in one of these bottles. So let's hope that's enough. Let's see what this squeezes out like. I can't be precious about this, otherwise I won't use it. And if you don't use it, what's the point? So we're going to go with 4 to 1. 4 drops to 1 drop. You know what? We might just do 2 drops, because this is pretty thick coming out of the tube. Oh, Black Betty. So let's say that's, I'm going to say that's 4 drops right there. Let's add 1 of the red ochre. about these is they actually have the pigments listed right in on the list, so you can see what you're actually mixing. All right, let's get that brush nice and wet, because that is not a this is not a thinned paint. Good Lord. So that's definitely a different color, but close to what we're going with. Let's add a bit more water to that too, just really. Okay, that to me, nope, we've still got a bit of the pigment flying around. Okay. Let's see what that looks like here. Ooh. So that just really thick paint, but you can really see how much that the Chimeras just does not want to fade out. The coverage is insane on that. Definitely is a thick paint, so okay. Add one paintbrush tip more brown, you think, Princess Indel? I'm liking, so I'm thinking to myself at this point, given how thick this stuff is, and how expensive it is for just a simple mix of the red and brown, I think we're gonna go with the Mecha color for this particular one. But I can absolutely see myself coming back to these Chimeras and creating something a bit more of a customized shade, maybe for the yellow if we want to when we get there. We could also honestly potentially end up mixing a bunch of these pigments in with the other stuff to get a more customized tone we want things to look like. But for the meantime, I think we're just going to let these dry out, and then we'll start loading up our airbrush with some stuff. I'm going to write that down though still what we used. So that was Chimera. We're looking at 80% the red, 2 glob drops, and then 20% red ochre, or red oxide. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a brighter color. I think that's going to look good in a matte. And if not, we can always strip and paint again. Hey, why not? All right. Well, now that we've done that, we'll need now to test our paint jobs on our various spoons here. So let's give that a try. I think these are, oh yeah, these are absolutely dried out. Love the quickness with which that dries itself. I guess we might as well mix directly into the airbrush, despite its tiny little pot. All right, let's get that in there. Okay, so let's say we're going to go with let's go with a full 10 drop solution. So we're going to add 5 of the airbrush thinner just to make sure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's 10 drop in for 8 red, 2 brown. 6, 7, 8. Cap that up. Give it a bit of a shake. Add our 2 browns. 1, 2. All right. Probably pre-mix a bunch more of that too in future for this if we decide we like the look of this. All right, here we go. Now, Funko, I agree with you that people need to learn how to strip things down. I was actually looking at a couple of YouTube videos from a guy who goes into eBay and grabs people's Warhammer collections. And that's what I think eBay mistakes is what they call it. Ooh. Okay, well, we let that get all bubbly. Let's just use our brush to mix that up. So you probably wasted some by doing that, but this is the tester. Let's see what she looks like. Let's give it a little bit more back pressure just to make sure we're properly mixed down in the bottom of the pot. And here we go. Get that on nice and gentle. Let's really take our time with this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's a pretty red, if I do say myself. That's not really coming through on the camera. But you can really control how much shadow you get out of that by really adjusting the amount of light. And we're going to try it again on this next one here, and I bet this one is going to be very different compared to this one. Again, based on how much of that black edge we left underneath that paint. That's looking gorgeous. Okay, let's try this one. And again, just very slowly building it up. Making sure to get all the angles. It'll be nice and even. And you start to get a bit more of the color coming through the more you add, but not losing that shade along the edge. Oh, yeah. See that again. I'm not sure how much it's really reflecting, but oof. All right, let's see what the backside looks like on this one. Or on both of these, actually. Um, wow. Okay. We're going to lay that down. And we're going to try... Actually, I'm going to skip right to this one. We definitely left that one lighter on the red. Mm, Again, so, mm, okay, so there we go. I'll have a look at those in a second here. I'm just going to put a little air cleaner in the pot so that it doesn't dry up. Okay. Whew. Always surprised me how the stream of paint in the air between the brush and the surface hits. It's for all intents and purposes invisible. Yeah, it is. So here we go. And let's see if you can, yeah, you can see that. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's a bit more of an even coat on the inside, but still with the black, that black shading. That really, this really pops. The more white you get on there, you can definitely see the more poppy it gets. So we definitely don't want to get too white with our highlights, then, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm trying to think about how much I like that. I think this is going to look fantastic, actually, once we get it down there. Okay, so, sorry, I was holding these way out there. It's, yeah, it's like a Clifford red, but compare the bare the red on bare white plastic versus the bare on the shading, and you can see what the big difference is there. There's a lot of gradation. So okay, that's great. I guess that means what we need to do is get ourselves doing some robot, which means we're going to have to put some things on sticks, which should take us some time. Gonna get out my trusty dusty pet store scratching post, and which is now my Neko, my cat station. Found out, so when you buy them, they don't come up with this much space around them in cardboard, so I had to cut that open. And they usually come with the wavy side up. And let me tell you, the wavy side up sucks. And it took me 3 weeks to figure out that I could just flip it over, slide it back into the container, and now I have a big holder for $3 bucks. All right, let's get our parts in here as well. Bring that down here. Actually, I'm going to reverse that. going to go up here. And these are going to go down here. And then we're just going to pick some parts to start putting on sticks. Yippee! We'll deal with that in a bit. All right, I also have some non-clippy sticks here, which are useful sometimes. We'll get to those when we need to. All right, so let's grab this piece. And we'll give it a little flippy-dippy there. I'm going to try and do this in a way that will allow me to put as much stuff on here as I can at once. Foot in there. It's the other side of that arm. And the point of the cat scratcher thing is to put things on an alligator clip with a stick, and then you just slide them in there. And then you have these things to hold your models up and away while you spray paint them, and then a place for them to sit while they dry. It's a handy tip. Okay, now let's get more wing bits, or footy bits, I guess. More of these things. Oh! Jessica Engel is, in fact, Ian is not a cat person. So yeah, it's absolutely just hacking a something that exists for some other use. Ian is a bird person. He likes the birds, but not so much the cats. It's one of the many ways that I am ill-suited to be on the internet. And yes, I've already got Unchat with me here, as always. So that'll do. Alrighty. Just need to get more of these sticks. Cats seem to be fairly indifferent towards me, honestly. Okay. Here's a cuff, I guess you could say. I mean, we absolutely should paint the big one for you today. Why would I not wing it up? Good. Real Gamer Cow is aware of... More people who are aware of Gumi the Red Burb, the happier I am. I want to see if there's any way I can put together a collab with Hideaki Utsumi, former sound designer for Capcom and owner of, well, caretaker of Gumi. No one can really own a bird. Yes, there is a certain red bird that does a dance that's very popular online right now, at least amongst my bird-based circles. And it's Gumi, G-U-M-I is the name. He is the red burb. Friends Kohaku, the white burb, or I believe it's a Moluccan cockatoo. And Lemon, who is a cake. Right, it's lemon. And Kiwi. Kiwi is also very important because Kiwi is a very large and lovable macaw. You can see all the birds online at Symphonic Lolita's tweet, and they are all fantastic, and you should all go love Gumi. I've got 2 more of these pieces left. What can I stick them on? They're good for shoving into holes, is what I'm saying. There we go, that's one. Actually, this piece I'm pretty sure I can just leave as black, because we're not doing black on that, so that's fine. This and this will also remain black, as will this, as will this. These, we're going to be becoming the gray, so we don't need white on them. And this will be red. Let's add that to the list of things to be painted right now. The big booty will also require a coating. Death likes cats. The build's going good. The initial build, ended a few episodes ago, so we are now deep in the paint mines. Okay, the one problem, if you're going to use one of these cat toys as a holder, it's a little bit finicky because the cardboard used is not as I guess quality tested as a dedicated hobby version, but you're also going to be spending less than half the price, so. This is also a black piece, so it will stay underneath for now. The white pieces, I mean, I think we should actually just leave the white pieces as is and paint them up white when we actually choose and mix our white. But we got a few more. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you got double entendres, just throw them in the chat. This is prime time for that sort of shenaniganery. Black pieces remain black. These are all red pieces, though, and they must remain red. All right, let's put these two back, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4 more clips. Here we go. Let's grip a little bitty. And grip a little bitty. And grip a little bitty. And then grip a little bitty. Okay, these are all the red pieces we have on this side, the streaming side of the mech. Put our tray to the side now. Let's pull this back in. I'm sure we could organize this in a better way. In fact, let's do that right now. This part doesn't need to be quite as organized for everything to fit on here, because things can knock around. It's just once you've got paint on them, you don't necessarily want them touching each other while they dry, and before they dry, and all other points of dryness. Organizing the cat tray. Organize your tray. Eat Fraggles another day. Do they taste like radishes? Like the Dozer stuff? One would assume. I mean, they eat nothing but, right? Radishes. All right, we'll leave the big old wing to last, I guess, just in case we need to make space for it. Okay. All right. Let's clean out our airbrush, because it's filthy. Let's give it a bit of a wipe down with a Q-tip up here. Oh, yeah. Get rid of some of that dried on paint. Dude. Come on. I wouldn't necessarily say this is approved airbrush cleaning operation, but you know what? No one's going to stop me today. Better not. right, let us get a bit more in there, wiggle it around a bit, fire it backwards. As much of that paint off the walls so that we can load it up with the white stuff. By the white stuff, I mean the white paint. I suppose we could live with a little bit of pink in there. But... okay, let's add a bit more. Do a bit of backwash. Off. And are you blowing clear? You are blowing clear. We are ready for the next stage, which is the whitening. So, you know what? This seems like a good time for us to take a short break, which is what we will do. So I'm going to get up, swap my fluids, stretch my legs, get this off my head for a half second, and then we're going to come back with a bit more of the painting of this. Let's get some white down and get some red in here, maybe, if we can, too. So yeah, don't go away. More Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry in just a few minutes. There's my keyboard. That should do it. Hey, folks, we're back. Welcome to the return of Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry for this evening, where we are painting some Gunpla. We have our... wait, this is Big Brio. That's the wrong one. You need... big iPhone. There we go. We are painting our Gunpla parts, which we have primed. We are going to be giving them a white highlight for the underneath, and then we're going to be putting some red on top, inshallah. Let's start with the whites then, shall we? Using everything in Western society. Start with the whites. Where is my... there we are. Let's just suck up some delicious white paint and add it to our cup. There she goes. Put that back in there. Sorry, I should be very clear. When I say toss it back in there, I mean toss it back in our good friend the Bendum, who is our happy paint cup once again today, the designated paint cup. Friends, oh my goodness! You know what? I have done something bad. Don't do what Daddy Ian did. Is allow that red paint to interact with your white. Huh. Well, I guess we gotta dump that somewhere now. I'm gonna send it through the. Yeah, let's just send it through. We still got gas left. I really am getting close to needing a refill, though. Wow, that takes a while to empty. Okay, so now we've got that there. Let's squirt that again. Let's get a fresh Q-tip. Let's see if we can't actually make this clean up. Yeah, that red just really wants to be red forever, doesn't it? Right. Just going to use a piece of, there we go. Clean up some of those bits of dried on flecks. Try not to send them through the brush because they might get clogged. Can't always do your best. Okay. That. Normally I give my brush a very clean, or a very thorough cleaning at the sink in between uses, but we're not doing that tonight. We're here in the booth for all night long. Okay, that seems better. That seems like that's going to be cleaner when we dump that out again this time. Okay, and then let's just use that to wipe around the edges a bit there. Just going to dump that in the water bucket because it's cleaner. Okay, just a few more little squirt there. Let's back it up. Back it up, back it in. Let me begin. If you have red pigment in here at all, it's a sin. Good. Good. Okay. Let's try that one more time. Suck and out. Back in the hole. All right, let's see if this fixed my wagon. There we go. All right, now we're ready to paint. So these, dang, these probably don't need much at all, to be honest. Just a highlight probably right down the center there, and then that's going to be it. I'm just going to very softly bring on the trigger. Squeeze into a little bit of a... I was looking at the results of the spoon test in better light, or rather more natural light, which is to say the light of the kitchen. And I think I prefer it when we've got a very light undercoat. I like it best when there's more black showing through. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is trying to very lightly coat that top bit. All right. This one's just going to be very light again. Spritz. Just a titch, just enough to give us a bit of a light tone. There we go. This one we're going to try and get it in. Follow your nose. And by your nose, I mean let the way the light hits the actual thing show you where this needs to go. I'm actually when I'm holding this, I'm like, oh yeah, the light that's just over my shoulder here, which is currently pointing more towards my face. Hold on, let's pull that in. Try me a bit more. Oops, now it's in your face. There we go, just outside of range. Seeing the way the light plays off of that and seeing, oh yeah, there's a highlight right down there. If I just follow that, then I'm golden. Trying to use just a bit though. Okay, I need to hang back here is where I need to be. Meet up. Today we are making a thing. We're putting down some paint on our Nightingale Gunpla build. And we're right now just putting together highlights, essentially. It's interesting because we kind of want this to be, I want to stay away from the edges a bit. We want the, yeah, that's about as bright as I want to go there. But the edges are the parts that look really cool when they've got some gray in them. Looks good. All right, there we go. Oh, right, you got one more of these funnel covers. Want to make sure I'm doing this evenly here. There are these two. Woo! Just about lost one. There we go. That's, yep, that's evenness. I'm just going to adjust my shot here because I'm uncomfortable where I am. You're going forward a bit, chat. There we go. That's where my hands like to be. Xeris, it's not technically zenithal. It's the same idea that you're letting the white create a highlight for you. Like decades ago, this was called the Max Kobayashi or Max painting technique, after Max Kobayashi, the person who first wrote it up in a Japanese Gunpla magazine. Ooh. But I happen to like the way it looks, even though it is apparently an ancient technique and no longer in vogue. At least in the Gunpla community. Or so I'm led to believe. I really don't care. I happen to really like the way it looks. There you go. That'll do. Oh, cool. Glad people are familiar with what's going on here. Space Hill, don't be terrified. Listen to what Funko said earlier, and remember that you can always strip your model down if you want to do it differently. And in fact, I highly suggest the first model I painted was one that I built 10 years ago, covered in nicotine, broke it down piece by piece, and then actually did a paint job on it for my first paint job. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the big difference between this and the zenithal, for those who are not aware of either, the zenithal painting technique, you're hitting your highlights. So the idea is that the zenith of the model, the top, you're going to want to highlight it with white so that it's mimicking the idea of a top light source being highlighted. With this one, you're kind of highlighting it along the edges of panels so that you want to kind of mimic the way that a panel looks a little bit more darker towards the edges of it, really highlighting those panels. That's I think the goal of this style. Digital hand cut camo is that's going to be a hell of a project. It is well done doing that. And what's my opinion on the Witcher Mercury high grades that were reviewed? They look pretty cool. I'm really kind of hyped for the Witcher Mercury because Gundam series with female protagonist, and that seemed like a good idea in my opinion. Hold on, I think I'm getting a little bit of spattering here, so what I'm going to do for that is we're just going to pull the needle for a second. And give it a little wipe down. Looks, yeah, oh god, that's a gloopy needle front. And we are still straight up there. That's the, oh wow, yeah, that's a gloopy needle tip. Oh, yep. Whew. Not sure if you can see the edge of my fingernail there. That little bit of paint, that was pulled off the tip of the needle. So that might have been contributing to some of our spattering there. Yeah, absolutely using water-based acrylic. There is, in fact, it's a mixture of Deco Art Crafters acrylic, the cheapest stuff we can have, and 50/50 with windshield washer fluid to aid as a surface thinner, and also because it is an antifreeze, whoops, helps undo the. We're probably going to be fine with that. Helps to keep the sorry, I lost track. To keep the freezing from the CO2 tank from being too much of an issue, or the cooling at least. Yeah, that's going to be fine. A little highlight right there. In fact, right across the tip of that toe is probably not a bad idea. I don't want to go any more than that, though. I absolutely just want to get very little in there. Glass cleaner is the best cleaner. And I am running a homebrew airbrush cleaning solution that includes ammonia-free glass cleaner along with glycerin and 90% isopropyl alcohol. But it's I've had good luck with this, with the windshield washer fluid, and I'm inclined. I mean, I'll give other things a try because that's what I'm all about, trying new things. But I'm really happy with it. You can get away with street ISO as a cleaner, but it's A, beware of the cost, and B, I like the mix because it adds, again, a washer, like an actual detergent in it to get the paint out a little bit easier, but also the glycerin helps in keeping the metal a little bit more lubricated because that constant exposure to heavy ASO is probably it's probably fine for the chrome, but again, it's been working out. Interesting things about Mercury. So yeah, I haven't watched the prologue yet because I'm waiting for someone to do a translation of it. This is of the Witch from Mercury, by the way. But I saw a few clips from it, and it looks rad. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for new Gundam. I took a chance on Iron Blood Orphans, and it paid off. Yeah, that's about all I want on that. Gotta be careful not to overdo it with the white on these parts here. Again, I will never forgive Iron Blood Orphans for making the capital of Earth Edmonton, Blessing, Alberta. For those not aware, Edmonton was where I used to live before I moved to Victoria, and they did their research, first of all, in figuring out what downtown Edmonton looked like to depict it. But come on, people. Edmonton? Uh, yeah, that's enough. And you know what? Nothing on the bottom. Do I want to... Okay, so here's a quick question for us, chat. Do we want to paint the bottom edges here? Because they're going to be made red. But do we want to do any highlighting on them? I think the answer is no. Yeah, I'm going to say no to that. Let's let things go to the hard edge. Let's see how it turns out, because again, we can always strip and redo if we need to, right? Haven't done that before, so that'll be a new fun one. I mean, yeah, rotary sort of. Let's let TB completely H. Edmonton's probably for northern, not the worst. And actually, if climate change keeps up and up, it might just be a pleasant year-rounder. Sometimes this likes to clog. There we go. That's looking like enough for me there. I guess, actually, now that I've been thinking about it, you could probably call this technique closer to a sketching with an airbrush, if that's something you could say. I'm not sure if that is something you could say, but that's good. This is so these pieces are feet pieces. So if we keep them all similar, then that will look better. You've got to be aware of that with this build. Get more towards the center. That's good. I'm happy with that. Actually, let's compare that. These are going to be on opposite sides of the booty. Maybe these are from different sides of the. Oh no, these are no, these are booty bits. Yeah, that seems pretty close, so I'm going to go with that. Neat, that's a fantastic little spoon test you got going on there for, again, it seems fairly similar reasons. For those of you who are just joining us while we're here, might as well pull up the spoons we were looking at earlier here. And I think this is the order in terms of amount of red highlighting underneath. And this one, well, it looks really dark on the on camera right now. If we take it up here, no, that's not going to be helpful either. Yeah, there we go. I really prefer the shadowing edges to that, so that's why I'm trying to keep the white down to a minimum. We'll see as we go along. Grab myself a beard itch and a and a drink. Yeah, spoons are great. All right. Check it out. Good. Always do a fit check when you're working with PPE, folks. The fun thing about them is they're one of those things where just wearing it doesn't make the difference. You gotta make sure you're wearing it right. Otherwise, no point. I think that's going to be good on that one. I'm dreading this big piece here. I might should take it out right now so I can make room for it later. This is going to be a fun one. Cheap packs of army men are great for testing color schemes. That's interesting, Wizards. I hadn't thought about that. I'd been actually, you know what? I should continue to print them out. One of the things I found when hunting down things to 3D print recently, and unfortunately the 3D printer has decided that it is no longer going to start up, so I will have to do some surgery on that as well. But I didn't want to do that for TPSF because I wasn't sure how long it's going to take or what parts are going to be necessary to get it back up and running. Anyway, one of the last things I featured was something the person had called Sir Scalesby. And the purpose of Sir Scalesby is that he is modeled in certain sizes for certain scales of miniatures, you know, based on the base size, 28 millimeter, 30 millimeter, 20 millimeter, etc., going down and up. And the idea is that if you're trying to print terrain or other features for your game, you can add a appropriately sized Sir Scalesby to your slicer to make sure that the scale is all correct before you actually end up doing the printing. It's really cool. So all hail Sir Scalesby. Yeah. You know what? No UGG, because it needs to be done, but I'm going to clean that needle again. So that's, it's starting to chunk up. Yep. Insert the needle back inside. Shall we try printing with just the pencil tip? Ian, do you prefer a 3D printer that just works to make parts with? Or do you want a 3D printer as a hobby to tinker with? Aggressive, I am a person who prefers to... I want the thing to work. I'm not looking for an extra hobby. The Wanhao D6 has been an okay one for that so far. I think the main reason I feel that way is that I don't like wasting materials. And so like, I feel that way about regular printers too. Why waste ink, toner, and paper trying to get your printer to write when what I want thing to do is to print a thing. And that's been kind of one of my issues with 3D printing in general as a hobby, is that 3D printing, tuning your 3D printer has been a hobby. Like once I finally settled on Octoprint and Clipper, I kind of gave up with the experimentation. Though now I think I'm going to be switching to Moonraker for my printer control, but sticking with Clipper as a firmware because I really like the way it the control it gives. Error, you shall not print this black and white document as you have no magenta ink. God, nope, 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 nope. Yeah, I have never heard of someone who has had an FDM printer that is just worked straight out of the box as us. Like I eventually, it wasn't until I started using Uhu glue stick to uh, improve adhesion of the first layer that I started to really get consistent print and start being able to think of it as something that was a oh, I've got an idea for a thing, or oh, I need a thing or I need to make some terrain. I can just print it. There's no problem. Because before that, it was a case of okay, decide if I actually want to print something, because now here comes a day or two of whittling settings, re-leveling beds, and trying again. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do some really cool stuff with it, and you can really dial in a printer. Take the time, and it's worth the effort, because when you do, it you get results. That said, I'm not looking for another hobby. I'm looking for a thing that can facilitate my currently existing hobbies. I could use a bit more. Yeah, just a bit more. Okay. In you go. How's our time? Oh, we've got plenty of time. Okay, Drescent uses clipper with main sail at a heavily modified boron 2.4R1. Yeah. No, I'm just fine with software getting things set up there. Like, actually, mainsail was, I think, what I'm looking to gonna be replacing. Yeah, mainsail on top of Moonraker. Is what I plan to replace Octoprint with. These are the 2x sides of the same thing, and I think that, yes, Adam. That's gonna look good. Okay. It's just upsetting, because I was in the middle of, and quite literally the middle of, printing a couple of pieces of terrain for more kill team stuff. And there were actually a couple of pieces of terrain with some height to them. And ironically, because you want to paint, you generally want to print with your bed or your flat surfaces down, it was just printing the legs. So both of these pieces ended up being half a vantage point tall, so when stacked together, become 1 vantage point. Ugh. Hmm. I think I'm happy with that. These two pieces, you can see, are matching pretty closely, and that's important because they are going to be the opposite ends of the arm. Oh yeah, this is going to look fan-freaking-tastic. Even that up a bit there. Oh yeah. Oh, yep, this is a good choice, folks. So we are now in what I like to call stage 1. Things look good. very soon we'll be engaging stage 2, where you're mostly happy. Then comes stage 3, when things just look bad. They just look bad, and there's nothing you can do about that but keep going. And then stage 4, everything comes together. I think stage 4 is when we get our first gloss coat on before putting decals on. And then once you got the decals on, it just looks, oh! And then you bring back the matte coat, and it's gonna be something special. Hmm. Yeah, you need to have some sort of external control for Octoprint. Uh, Mainly the reason you'd want to use an external control box of any sort is for something like Clipper as the firmware. I really like how good it is at dealing with curves. Mm. And that seems to be in line with our toes that we've been doing, so that's good. I'm less concerned with the spattering because the red is going to cover it up to a certain extent, and I also, honestly, like when you're dealing with machines that are huge like this, I always seem to assume that they are, you're dealing with industrial paint, and it's going to be spotted and thick and whatnot, and of course we're going to want to do some sort of wash or some weathering to this too, so it doesn't need to be a pristine surface. That's just me. You do it how you like it. I want to clean that tip one more time. Nope, I think we're good. Well, you know what? Let's wipe it off, and then it's ready for this next big chonker. That said, I should mention regarding 3D firmware or printer firmwares, I have only tried the stock 1 Howell D6 firmware. I gave Marlin a try, but yeah, I felt like Clipper was giving me better results off the shelf. All right, let's get that in there. Chunk a chunk. Okay, so just remembering doing this from the primer stage, this is going to be a big B because there's a lot to cover. So I think what we're going to want to do is try to keep it a little bit. Let's consider this to be a non-highlighted area as well. We're just going to hit the sides, mid-size a bit, and then up a bit. Let's hope that works the way I want it to. Let's start at the arm here. Oh yeah. Now you've done it. Put the holes there. Blend that out. We want to let those. Okay, that looks like that's going to be something I'm happy with on that side. Something on this side. And very mindful of where we're putting the brush. Then we've got this area up top here, so we're just going to fill that in just a bit. Ooh, we made this pretty white, but that's going to be fine because it's going to have lots of detail. I think I'm happy with that. All right, well, that'll be the last piece we come back to there. Ah. I guess now it's time for us to deal with the color. To actually put down some red. And because we were smart and maneuvered things on the cat claw nicely, I feel like we can work with that pretty easily. So, that being said, shall we mix these? We're going to be doing a lot with these, so let's actually put together our own mix bottle. I'm going to get up here, I'm going to move over here, and oh look, I've prepared one earlier. I was testing things. Yeah, let's do our little dropper bottle full of this paint for today, and then that way we can come back to it in the future when we want to do more of them. So let's start with how many, so we're looking at 8 to 2. Let's see here. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 10. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 4, right? So that's 8. Okay, so hold on in my head. Yeah, so we've got 80 drops in there, right? 80 drops, meaning that I need to get 20 drops of this. That was the the head space there. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. For those asking, these are Vallejo Mecha Color, brown and red. We're using an 80 to 20 ratio. And, you know what, for our own sake, to make this easier on ourselves, let's add 50 drops of washer fluid, and just, well, not washer fluid, but thinner, and then we can just chuck it directly into our airbrush. So let's see here. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And that's not 1-to-1, but you know what? We could probably 1-to-1 this. You know what? Let's do half to start and see how that treats us. Oh, I haven't tried the primers there is of the Vallejos. This is actually my first time working with them. I normally just use Vallejo's regular black for primer, and it's been, as you can see, it's been working out so far. As for durability, this is my first time working on them, so we'll see how it works, how it comes out. We do need to purge our white, though, so let's get rid of that. And then we'll do a quick wash of this. Get that in there. Work it all around. Take away all the white, and hopefully that will be done. Dump. Okay, and a bit more cleaning to do here. Dump. Okay, that's looking just a little bit better. Ugh. Some nasty bits in there right now. Let's see if I can shoot it out. There we go. That seems to be good. Okay, let's run that through the airbrush. Should clean that up. Okay. Let's add another little bit here. Do some backwash. Ah, they're supposed to be resistant to stripping from the articulating areas. Okay. Well, in future, we'll see, I guess. Oh no. Oh no. 1 second. Folks, remember what I was saying about gas? We seem to have run out of gas. Let me see here. What time is it? It's 19. Okay, you know what? Actually, we can do this. We can do this because what we have now is time for us to take a break. So we're going to do that. And while that's happening, I'm going to disconnect my gas from my kegerator, and we'll paint with what's left out of that gas. And then tomorrow I will go out and refill, hopefully, 2 tanks of CO2. And we'll work from there. So, like I said, folks, get up, stretch your legs, swap your fluids. And your gas is apparently now too, and we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Solder Fry in just a few minutes. Don't go all the way away. Folks, we're back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry here on the Mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian. We're doing some Gunpla airbrush building today, and the tanks have been swapped. I poured one final sacrificial beer for myself to put in myself while we continue the project. And we are... Unfortunately, the tank is still precipitously in the order gas stage. These are the worst. This particular one is the least accurate thing I have used in a while, but when it does get into order gas, that's the important thing. The important thing, though, is that we can push the button and we're still getting around 20 psi. So we're good to go for at least the rest of the show. Someone asked, though, before the break, if CO2 airbrushes are a thing. Yeah, any compressed gas will work. I recommend specifically going CO2 or nitrogen. Nitrogen will not have the problem of cooling the needle tip due to the expansion of the gas so much with the carbon dioxide. But again, that's not something I've noticed. Just gotta crack a window because you are letting out some carbon dioxide, but I like it because it's silent. I don't have to run a compressor. I don't have to hear the entire time I'm playing, or every 20 or 15 minutes when I empty a tank, which I'm sure makes my neighbors extremely happy. But yeah, just need to pay for gas tank refills. But I mean, they're consumables, and be aware of the consumables. Let's get to painting, because that's what we're here for, right? Put that back on. Suck it in, test fit. And let's get some of our new paint in the Oh, I get to break my own seal, and it doesn't even break. Well, what the hell? What the hell, paint bottle? Go away, seal. Haha. And let's spin that up a bit. And let's add like 10 drops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. I'm a fancy paint boy. But yeah, now I have a paint specifically for this project. Good job, me. Let's see it come out. Oh yeah, we're ready. Okay, which piece to start with? I'm gonna start with the back toe, because this is gonna be the least visible part, I think, of all the pieces we're gonna be painting today. So let's give it some gas, shall we? I always feel a little weird about the aspect of painting something the same color the plastic was underneath, but oh, look at that. Look at that take up the color. I'm just going to get the bottom edges here, because the bottom edges also matter. The back edge definitely matters. Oh, my goodness. Uh, what do you think, chat? It's hard to see, actually. All right, let me see if I can adjust that at all. Hmm. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Really hard to see. Huh. I'm going to try to shut this off. Actually, I think that's a bit easier to comprehend. Not for me, though, unfortunately. Try turning down that light a bit. Less harshness. Okay. So yeah, we probably want a bit more on there, I think. There we go. I think that's about what we're going to get with that. Looks... Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. I definitely need to set up a better lighting situation inside this booth, but oh, yeah. Very happy with how that's coming out. Okay, that's piece one. Shall we try whatever this is? I think we shall. I think I just need to kick up my PSI a bit here. Okay, so you can really get the shadows in there and the under bit, but I think it's hard to see, isn't it? I'll make sure I'm getting all the edges properly too. Okay, shall we do one of these boys, the funnel receptacles? What we should do is add some more paint to our brush. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We may end up running out of paint pretty quickly here. I may have to actually, no, I can't measure these by grams. That's going to be too, I'll need a much finer scale than what I have. But I am already, I don't have any pieces nearby that are the original red, but I really, really like this more than the original color. Yes, that's gonna be good. This one is also still looking very nice. That reddish brown is just a gorgeous color. Okay, let's do the funnel holder. Leave as much of that interior as black as we can. Not leave black, but just take advantage of the natural shading that we're getting there. There we go. Yeah. Baby. How do I get that back in there? We just drop it down. Good. Grab another one. Do the same thing. What the? Oh my god. Oh my actual god. Okay, this is the last piece we're going to be able to do, folks, because we have now officially run out of gas on this thing as well. It's a good thing this paint is thin AF and is going on nicely. So yeah, kudos to Vallejo and their Mecha Color line for being able to be paintable even while nearly out of gas. I don't actually want to tempt fate, to be honest, so I'm just going to dump the last of this back in the pot if I can. And then I think that's going to have to be it for the day. I'm really sorry, but I don't necessarily, I just don't want to end up in the middle of a part and be out of gas, especially seeing as gas is so key to my personal style of cleanup for the airbrush, which I'm going to do right now while I talk about some other stuff. We always wondered if TTSF would run out of gas one of these days. Would it help if we all clapped and believe in me? I mean, not really, folks. It's, you push the air down, and it goes away. Oh, aren't needles satisfying? Look at that. Anyway. Boy, oh boy. Ah! It should be fine. Oh, yeah, no, that gauge is super effed right now. Cool. Well, we know when we run out of gas anyway. Those gauges are never reliable. All right, let's do a little bit of cleanup here, and then let's, well, while we do that, let's talk about where you can find out what's going on. Shoot. Do not suck the red into the thing. All right, well, if you like what you see, I want to remind you that everything that is here on the Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network is brought to you by you, the viewer. That's right, you are responsible for this, and we are extremely grateful that you are here for that reason and for watching. And frankly, if you're, you know what, if you're just sitting here and chatting away, we're quite happy to have you. If you are lurking, we like that too. If you're here from YouTube, welcome from the future. You can check this program out at loadingreadyrun.com. It's where you can find links to all of our shows and whatnot, God willing. But if you want to find out what's coming up next on the program, check out loadingreadyrun.com/live. That's got a link to all of our scheduled shows there, and you can download that into your own very own Google Calendar, should you wish. Check out youtube.com/loadingreadyrun for all the premium content, where all our sketches, crap shots, all the fun stuff goes. But other fun stuff is at youtube.com/LRRMTG. That's where Magic the Gathering stuff goes. LRRTT has all of our tabletop stuff. youtube.com/LRRVG is where the video game contents reside, and you can check out Loading Ready Live on YouTube. That's right, youtube.com/Loading Ready Live for all of our streams that are non video game related. There's a breakdown. You'll figure it out quite quickly. That said, we do want to thank those of you who were kind enough to contribute to this channel via subs and bits. And we're going to do that right now. I'm going to have to look that way because that's where my screen is, but we'll get your thanks into you here. Blah, 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 blah. What do we got here? We got... Oh, I should refresh that. So up to an hour and a half ago. Let's go with, you know what? I'm going to grab everyone from... Wait, 2.5 hours ago? Let's go all the way back to Nigoki, who's been here for 41 months, saying, woo! Woo to you. Old Man Johnson, MB, coming in for 68 months. Nice. Got El Funko, a subscriber now. Thanks to Lurker Spine. Thank you both for hanging out with us and being a part of this particular little ridiculousness. Got to thank Annex Media for 37 months of subscription. Thank you. Captain Wolf for 38 months of subscription, and Breaking the Chain Lady Desco for 64 months of subscription. Thank you, all three of you. Dylan EA is a 2-month subscriber. Thanks for coming back. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Cinnamon Cyborg is a 20-month subscriber. Thank you for your continued support. As well, thank you to Sir Flukesalot for 65 months of good day, Ian. Good day to you too. Life Character is a 67-month subscriber. Thank you for your continued support. Edmund Juniper is a 66-month subscriber. Thank you for your continued support to the channel. The Shame Granny coming in at 65 months saying, Ian and Horner, Mrs. Tooties from down the street told me she saw you shamefully swapping gases this morning. How do you account for this shameful behavior, young man? Well, I don't. I do what I want, Granny. And that's why you're here. Coreflux is a 100-bit cheer. Thank you for those. Thank you as well to the Manaleak for 75 months of subscription. And thank you to Wedge X. Wedge for 27 months of subscription on this channel. Folks, that's going to do it prematurely, unfortunately, for this week's TTSF. But boy, did we get some really cool looking parts. We got a total of 4 parts painted, which is less than I was hoping, but more than we had before. So I'll consider that a partial success. I guess I'll have to become the Joker, or possibly instead do this off screen. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. This has been the painting side for you all, so we'll see what I get done in the meantime. That said, in the meantime, wait for one fortnight. I'll never see you in Fortnite, but that's the end of the show. So thanks again, and we will see you next time. Ever forward, learning out of spite. Bye.